It started with a simple Amazon delivery notification. I was expecting an important package, a limited edition collectible drone that I had pre-ordered months in advance. The notification popped up on my phone at exactly 2:35 p.m., stating the package had been delivered and left on my front porch. Excited, I hurried to my front door. But the package was gone. At first, I thought maybe the delivery driver had placed it somewhere hidden, behind a potted plant, under the doormat, or near my garage. I checked everywhere. Nothing. I checked my order history, and it still said delivered. That's when my stomach sank. Had someone stolen my package? I had never had an issue with porch pirates before, but my neighborhood had one constant problem: Karen. Karen was the kind of entitled, nosy neighbor who thought everything belonged to her. She was always watching, always complaining, always stirring up trouble. She was also obsessed with getting free things. Just a few weeks earlier, she had argued with another neighbor over a misplaced FedEx package and had tried to claim it as her own. That neighbor had to literally prove with a receipt that the package wasn't hers. And now, I had a very strong feeling that Karen had just stolen my Amazon package. Luckily for me, I had one advantage that Karen must have forgotten about: my doorbell camera. I had installed it months ago after Karen tried to inspect my lawn while I was at work. I pulled up the camera footage on my phone and rewound to 2:35 p.m. And there she was, Karen, sneaking onto my porch just 5 minutes after the Amazon driver left. She looked around, making sure no one was watching, then casually bent down, grabbed my package, tucked it under her arm, and walked away like it was hers. The audacity! Not only did she steal my package in broad daylight, but she also didn't even try to hide it or act discreet. She strolled right back to her house with my drone in her hands. I couldn't believe it. I had caught her red-handed. And now, I was going to make her regret it. I walked straight to Karen's house and rang her doorbell. I could hear movement inside. She was home. After a few moments, she finally opened the door, wearing the fakest, sweetest smile. "Oh, hi there, dear. What can I do for you?" she chirped. I kept my cool. "Hey, Karen, I got a notification that my Amazon package was delivered a little while ago, but it's missing. I was wondering if you saw anything." Her expression didn't even flinch. "Oh no, that's awful," she gasped, putting a hand on her chest like she actually cared. I just stared at her. She didn't know. She didn't know I had caught her on camera. She continued, "There have been some suspicious people in the neighborhood lately. Maybe a porch pirate took it." Oh, the irony. I tilted my head. "So you haven't seen it?" "No, dear. I wish I could help, but I have no idea what happened," she lied through her teeth. I smiled. "Really?" I said, pulling out my phone. "Because my security camera says otherwise." Her face drained of color. I tapped play on the video. There she was, clear as day, stealing my package and walking back to her house. Karen's fake smile vanished. For the first time ever, she had no excuse. She opened her mouth, then closed it again, eyes darting between me and my phone. She stammered. I was just holding it for you." "Yes, that's it. I saw it outside and I was worried it might get stolen, so I picked it up to keep it safe for you." I raised an eyebrow. "Oh, so if I go inside right now, I'll find it sitting safely on your counter?" She froze, and that's when I knew she had already opened it. Karen tried everything to weasel her way out of it. First, she claimed she was going to return it to me later. Then she accused me of spying on her and invading her privacy. When that didn't work, she tried playing the victim. "It's just a package. It's not a big deal. Why are you making such a fuss? I was just borrowing it. I wasn't having it." "Karen, stealing someone's mail is a federal crime. I could have you arrested for this." That's when she lost it. She threw her hands up, started yelling, and went into full meltdown mode. "Oh, come on. It's just a stupid package. You're being dramatic," she shrieked. I crossed my arms. "You have 5 seconds to return my package, or I'm calling the police." Her eyes widened. And just like that, she turned on her heels, stormed into her house, and slammed the door. I waited. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. I was about to call the cops for real when Karen finally reappeared, holding my package. Well, what was left of it? The box was already torn open. The drone's packaging was ripped, and the remote was missing. She had already started using it. I was furious. Karen shoved the half-open box into my hands. There. Happy now. You're such a baby. I was going to give it back anyway, she snapped. I checked inside the box. Parts were missing. The drone was scratched. And worst of all, Karen had written her own name on the instruction manual. She had actually tried to claim it as her own. That was it. I pulled out my phone. Enjoy your last few moments of freedom, Karen. I'm calling the cops. I was done playing games with Karen. She had lied, stolen, damaged my property, and then tried to gaslight me into thinking it wasn't a big deal. But the thing is, stealing someone's mail isn't just a petty neighborhood dispute. It's a federal crime. And I was about to make sure Karen learned that the hard way. I pulled out my phone and dialed the police non-emergency line. Karen's eyes widened in horror. Wait, no, you don't have to do that. I gave it back. It's fine. Just forget about it, she pleaded, her voice going from angry to desperate. But I had heard enough of her excuses. I turned away from her, letting the call go through. Yes, hi. I need to report a theft. My neighbor stole my Amazon package from my front porch. I have video footage proving it. Karen practically lunged toward me. Stop. Hang up. You can't be serious. I took a step back and held up a hand to stop her. The dispatcher on the phone remained calm. Do you know who the suspect is? I nodded. Yes. She's standing right in front of me, screaming. Karen's face turned bright red. Oh my God, you're so petty. It's a stupid box. I ignored her. The dispatcher continued. Do you want to press charges? I looked directly at Karen. She had spent years bullying people, acting like she was above the rules, and getting away with it. Not this time. I took a deep breath. Yes, I want to press charges. Karen completely lost it. Are you kidding me? You're really doing this? She screamed, her voice cracking. It was a mistake. I thought it was mine. I pointed to my door cam footage still playing on my phone. So you mistakenly walked onto my porch, looked around like a criminal, grabbed my package, and took it inside? Karen stammered. She was trapped. Well, I mean, IT doesn't even matter. You have it back. I shook my head. That's not how this works, Karen. You don't get to steal something, open it, damage it, and then expect zero consequences. She glared at me like I had just ruined her life. Because I had. 15 minutes later, a police cruiser pulled up. Karen immediately switched tactics. She ran up to the officers before I could even speak, putting on her best poor little me act. Oh, officers, thank goodness you're here. I need to report my neighbor for harassment. He's making false accusations against me. The officers looked at each other, then at me. Are you the one who called? One of them asked me. I nodded. Yes, and I have video evidence that Karen stole my package. I pulled up the footage on my phone and handed it over. The officers watched as Karen's face paled. One of them looked up at her. Ma'am, you literally walked onto his property, took his package, and carried it inside. Do you deny this? Karen stammered. I didn't mean to. I thought it was mine. Amazon makes mistakes all the time. The officer raised an eyebrow. Your house is 2 doors down. Why would Amazon deliver it to the wrong address with a completely different name? Karen had no answer. She crossed her arms and huffed. I don't see why this is such a big deal. It's just a box. That's when the officer said the magic words. Ma'am, stealing mail is a federal offense. You could face jail time. Karen froze. Wait, what? Jail time? You're joking. The officer nodded. Mail theft is a serious crime. And considering you opened the package and damaged the contents, that's another charge. Karen looked like she was going to pass out. She turned to me, her voice suddenly pleading. "Oh, come on. You don't have to do this. We're neighbors. This is ridiculous." I crossed my arms. So was stealing my package. The officers asked me if I wanted to press charges. Karen practically threw herself at my feet. "Please, I'll give you the money for the drone. I'll replace it. Just don't let them take me." For a brief moment, I considered it. But then I remembered how many times she had gotten away with bullying people. How many times she had lied, manipulated, and stolen. And I knew if I let her walk away from this, she would just do it again. I turned to the officers. "Yes, I want to press charges." Karen screamed in frustration. "Oh my God, you're such a baby." The officers moved in to cuff her. And just like that, Karen, who always thought she was above the law, was now under arrest. They put her in handcuffs and led her to the police car. As they pushed her inside, she turned and shot me the nastiest glare. "You'll regret this. I'll sue you. You hear me? I'll sue you." I smirked. "Good luck with that, Karen." And with that, the police car drove away. The day Karen had been dreading finally arrived. Her court date. She had spent weeks posting angry rants on the neighborhood Facebook page, claiming I was an evil, vindictive neighbor who had destroyed her life over a tiny mistake. She swore up and down that she was going to get the charges dropped, countersue me, and expose my lies in court. But there was just one little problem. I had a literal video of her stealing my package, and she had nothing. The courtroom was packed with spectators, nosy neighbors who had heard about the drama and wanted to see Karen get what was coming to her. Karen walked in wearing an expensive-looking dress, her nose in the air like she was walking the red carpet. She had convinced herself she was going to win. Her lawyer, some overpriced guy who looked completely exhausted, stood up and started Karen's defense. "Your Honor, my client, Ms. Karen Thompson, is a respected member of the community. This entire case is built on a misunderstanding. She mistakenly took the package, believing it was hers. She had no criminal intent. She returned the item immediately after realizing the error." Karen nodded vigorously. Yes, exactly. This is all just a ridiculous mix-up." The judge narrowed his eyes. "A mix-up? You knowingly took a package that wasn't addressed to you, brought it inside, opened it, damaged the contents, and then tried to lie about it. That doesn't sound like a mix-up. That sounds like theft." Karen's fake smile twitched. Her lawyer quickly jumped in. "Your Honor, we argue that there was no malicious intent. Surely, this is not a matter that requires legal action. My client has already suffered enough from this ordeal." The judge didn't even blink. "Suffered? She's the one who committed a crime. And Mr. Your last name has suffered damages due to her actions." Karen glared at me. "Oh my God, you're such a drama queen. It was just a stupid box." The judge was not amused. "That stupid box contained a $500 drone that was damaged due to your actions. Not to mention, stealing mail is a federal offense." Karen froze. Her lawyer sighed and rubbed his temples. Even he knew she was doomed. Now it was my turn to speak. I stood up, took a deep breath, and played the security footage on the courtroom screen. The video showed everything. Karen sneaking onto my porch. Karen snatching the package and looking around like a criminal. Karen scurrying back inside her house like a thief in the night. The entire courtroom watched in silence. Karen's lawyer looked like he wanted to disappear. Karen? She looked like she had just swallowed a lemon. The judge sighed and shook his head. "Ms. Thompson, do you have anything to say for yourself?" Karen crossed her arms. I already gave the package back. This is ridiculous." The judge leaned forward. "Ms. Thompson, you don't seem to understand the seriousness of this situation. You didn't just take a package, you committed theft. You damaged someone else's property. And based on your attitude today, you don't seem the least bit remorseful." Karen rolled her eyes. "Oh, come on. It's not like I murdered someone." The judge had enough. "Bailiff, remove Ms. Thompson from the courtroom. We'll proceed with sentencing without further outbursts." Karen's eyes nearly popped out of her head. Wait, what? No, you can't do this. I have rights. Two bailiffs grabbed her arms and escorted her out as she kicked and screamed. The entire courtroom watched in stunned silence. With Karen gone, the judge turned to me. Mr. Your last name, you are fully within your rights to seek damages. Given the evidence, I find Ms. Thompson guilty of mail theft and property damage. She will be ordered to compensate you for the cost of the damaged item, as well as legal fees. Additionally, she will be fined for mail theft and required to complete 50 hours of community service. I nodded, satisfied. The judge continued. However, due to her behavior today, I'm also issuing a restraining order. Ms. Thompson is prohibited from approaching you or your property for the next 5 years. The courtroom erupted into whispers. Karen was officially banned from coming near me ever again. After the ruling, I stepped outside the courthouse feeling victorious. And that's when I heard it. Karen's voice. She was standing near the parking lot, screaming into her phone. I can't believe this. I'm ruined. He ruined my life. I'm not doing community service. This is unfair. I'll sue everyone. She turned and locked eyes with me. I hope you're happy. You destroyed me. I just smiled. No, you did that to yourself, Karen. And with that, I walked away, knowing she had finally learned the hard way that actions have consequences.